My name is Michaela and I'm from Sweden originally. I moved to the States about 11 years ago, which is kind of reflective on my maybe a bit adventurous personality. I do like to travel and see new places and get new experiences. So yeah, I came to the States, as I said, 11 years ago. At that point, I was still suffering from bulimia and eating disorders, and it took me a few more years to start my journey towards recovery and health. And so I did back then, about 6 years ago, I did some reconstruction on my teeth, but I didn't have, the money to do anything major. It was more like of a band-aid to... Maybe just to explain a little bit more. So, of course, the bulimia, it kind of causes a lot of teeth erosion. So I'd lost also a lot of my vertical dimension, and my bite was severely affected by that, but also kind of wears down your enamel, and that, removes the barrier between the teeth and the external environment, everything that you put inside your mouth. And so it can also cause a lot of health problems, bacteria reaching places of your body that it shouldn't be via your teeth. So I felt like it was very important to start doing something to prevent, further health issues. So I did do some of the work at the East Coast where I used to live in Baltimore. But as I said, it was just a quick band-aid. It was very minimal. So still could see that my teeth were not, where I wanted them to be. I could see that my smile was affected, and also because of the reduced vertical dimension, the way my bite was also positioned my jaws and made my facial structures also affected, and my ability, my airways, my sinuses. It's like all of this also affected, my ability to breathe and so on. I moved to San Francisco about 2 years ago, and I finally started earning a bit more money. So I felt like this was the time to try to do something more substantial, really finish my healing journey from the eating disorders and the bulimia. I had already regained some of my health body-wise, put on more muscle and so on, but I couldn't regrow my teeth myself, unfortunately. So I found my way into Dr. Samadian's office, and he really showed me what my future could be with new teeth and the full mouth reconstruction, putting in crowns and veneers to rebuild my bite and my jaw structure, helped me to fully heal. He started the treatments, and over the course of 2 major treatments, most of my teeth were fixed and great, smile and great mouth. And also I can feel myself more confident. And because of now the way that I can feel my bite and the support kind of from my jaws, somehow it makes me feel like more secure and more sure of myself. Nowadays, I feel much more confident. I can, smile fully without having to feel bothered about maybe someone damaged teeth in the back of my mouth. Mostly, that's where they did, I still had some work left to do. And also, I had a lot of sensitivities from the teeth that were where the dentin was exposed a lot. So that caused me, pain when I was eating some, cold or hot food. So all of those things now make me feel confident in myself, and also the fact that I know that my health is now protected because of the crowns and the veneers Samadian put. Definitely, I feel like this is kind of the final step in my journey towards health, feeling fully restored from the eating disorders. And now, the means, the opportunity to take the step to do this treatment, even though it's very involved and it was a big step. But I knew at some point I needed to take it. And I'm very grateful to have found Dr. Samadian's office, and that he could help me to... Even though you might think it maybe not necessary, I would say that the way that I'm feeling now, I would tell them it's definitely worth the time and the money and the courage to do this. It's transformative. A healthy looking smile is kind of also telling people that you're healthy. For me, really in one of the, main focus points in my life now that I know how it feels to be healthy, from what I can compare to how it felt when I was in the middle of my eating disorder. So I said before, it's telling myself that I'm well, I'm safe, I am healthy. I can now maybe go back to feeling how I felt before my disease started. So it's kind of moving back in time in a way and just finding myself again and finding true self. Fixing my smile has really been part of that journey. Process was first coming in to remove some of my old dental work and then putting in temporary. Then I had to wait for about a month until the new crowns and the veneers had been made. And then Dr. Samadian removed the temporaries, put in all the permanent veneers and the crowns. So all of this just took 2 sessions, which is pretty remarkable because it was so much work. And he also had to remove 2 of my teeth, and so we are still working on those. And so I will get implants for those as well. They were highly compromised, so they had to go, unfortunately. But that also was done in the first session, and it's healing very well now. But I'm going to come in and, get those implants later on.